To many, the stock market is shrouded in mystery. When do I buy? What is the stop loss? Should I invest on earnings? Is it time to sell? At Phil's Gang, we want to clear the investing fog for you. We want to make you an educated, confident investor and ultimately a profitable investor. For over 15 years, Phil Grandy and the Phil's Gang team have been dedicated to teaching, guiding, and answering your investment questions. And with our new Phil's Gang website and customer support messaging system, we are available when you need us to answer your questions. Phil'sGang.com can be accessed from your home, office, or any location where internet is available. Plus, you never miss a beat because all material is archived. From beginner to seasoned investor, Phil Grandy has been helping thousands of people learn about the stock market and producing smart investing strategies. Whether you're preparing for retirement or looking to secure your financial future, learn, invest, and profit with Phil's Gang. That's Phil'sGang.com. For more information, call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. When St. Jude finds something that works well with a certain cancer, they share that with everybody. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge. We just have to worry about helping Chandler, and he's just my heart.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Performing technical analysis is no easy task for any investor unless conducted with a professional stock charting service. At Phil's Gang, we offer a choice of high-power, color-coded stock charts, all seamlessly integrated, so you can tackle the market the way you want to. The Phil's Gang Max Best 1000 Stock Charts. From Phil's Gang are high-performance HTML5 web-based charts that work on any browser and device, so you can put live streaming data and fully interactive charts in the palm of your hand. Phil Grandy designed the MV software to have the best features, and so far the early reviews have been great. You can plot charts on an intraday basis as well as on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annual basis. There is also a built-in watch list that you can customize to your liking. For more information, go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
To be able to just get my son to St. Jude and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market, the Max Best 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the Max Best is they follow the important money, the hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what MaxVest does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart is low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of Phil's Gang. I got a great opportunity for those people who are disgusted with the market, who don't have time to learn. What you do is follow me in the exchange-traded fund that I'm invested in. Every day you go to my site and you can see exactly what I am doing with my investment, and you can mimic me. Nobody else dares do that. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Phil's Gang offers one of the best collections of charts available on the internet. We built the Max Best software to have the best features, and so far, the early reviews have been great. So don't just be an investor, be a Max investor with Phil's Gang Max Investor 1000 stock charts. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
And does it approach obstruction of justice?
Charlie, if the facts are as they are alleged, yes, it would get close to obstruction of justice.
What we see is a presidency that's starting to come apart.
But clearly we're on the trail there to an impeachment.
This is going to put us a little bit further on our way to what I've been calling for so long, and that is impeachment.
If there was collusion, and I'm not saying that there was, this is a serious crime.
I think you likely will see the Congress go down the road of impeachment.
This White House, which is built on lies.
I hope you can let this go, is what the notes say. Those 7 words could be Trump's smoking gun.
Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country. And I'm laughing at this. I can't focus on what I'm saying. Unbelievable. This is so stupid. The time they're wasting. This is there's not going to be an impeachment. This is ridiculous. And I love when he said, when one of these people said, well, this White House, we're going to get behind all the lies. Wait a minute. Why didn't they ask for a special counsel when the biggest lie was ever told? Or a prosecutor, when the biggest lie was told by Obama that we could keep our health care policies. We could keep our doctor. That was a huge lie. That's how they got it ushered in. And look what it destroyed. It destroyed our jobs. It took people from full-time work, put them on part-times, so big companies didn't have to pay insurance. That was a devastating lie. No special prosecutor there. Benghazi, no special prosecutor there. I mean, you could go on and on and on. It's unbelievable. If they would spend as much time on creating jobs, as much time on our economy, as much time on the crises that we have, the retirement crises that we have. Jobs, think about our jobs. The ones they create suck. They're terrible jobs. So now they're focusing on this and not focusing on the economy. Thank God that when I invest in the stock market, I don't pay attention to any of that. I'm just going to look at a chart And when they put money in, I'm buying. When they're taking their money out, the gangsters, the parasites, I'll follow them. You know, isn't it interesting? Now they're saying, oh, the market's back up now. We're up 105 points after down 323 points yesterday. You know what they're saying? Because no more worries about Trump. Wait a minute. I don't get it. No more worries. Didn't we just start? Didn't they just appoint a special prosecutor? Now this afternoon they're saying, oh, the market's up because there's no more worries about that. Well, wait a minute. We have a Senate investigation. We have a House investigation, an independent Department of Justice, FBI investigation. Are you kidding? So what do we do with all those investigations? Not worry about those investigations? Those are all gone now? They even started investigating. They're saying there's no problem now. This is unbelievable. Well, one good thing, at least the House can't indict. At least the Senate can't indict. The FBI can. They just put a grand jury together. And the Justice Department can see indictment on anybody. And we're going to be caught up in this for quite a while. But you know what's really going on here? I'm the only one who's been talking about the $222 trillion in the bank derivatives. I told everybody yesterday, I told my gang, I said, you watch what happens tomorrow. Anytime you have what they call a reversal, the stock market was going up and up and up, then it reversed and dropped. There's what we call a 3-day test. The first day it drops, that's called the reversal. But that doesn't mean anything. You need the key part of that reversal. You need the second day to drop with more volume than the first day. And then the real key is the follow through. The third day, you need a big follow through. Then you know it's going to stick. And I told my gang last night, it's not going to stick. You ask any of my gang members this morning, I said, they're going to rally this market. I said that last night, and I said it again this morning. They're going to turn this market positive. Why? They have to. I told you yesterday, the $222 trillion in bank derivatives. If the market drops much more, it went down so fast yesterday, it'll trigger these derivatives, the banks collapse. You know, they're not telling anybody the truth. You know what the real problem is? And they can do all the financial engineering they want. Use QE, do stock buybacks, everything to keep the stock market up to make sure the $222 trillion derivatives do not drop. But nobody's bigger than the market. What is going to take this market down 50%, and nobody's talking about it, is China. What happens to China is going to trigger the derivatives over here and going to collapse the market 50%. Why do you think Trump turned around and said, I'm now for a weak dollar? What he's basically saying is, to make sure that doesn't happen, I'm going to do quantitative easing so we can keep propping the market up, which causes a weak dollar, which, of course, is bad for the economy, is bad for wages, bad all the way around, except for this stock market, the 1 percentile. Chinese insurers are already warning of mass defaults, social unrest, because of the redemptions that run on the banks in China. This is what will trigger those derivatives. And why you want to be in position when that happens so you can create wealth as the market drops. May not happen today, may not happen a week from now, may not even happen a year from now, but it will happen. And you want to be in position so you could create fantastic wealth. You know, the narrative all day yesterday, the reason for the worst one-day drop in U.S. stocks is the instability of Trump administration, that he may be impeached. That's nonsense. I told you what's going to start this drop, or what started the drop yesterday, is a couple things. One, I told you about the derivatives. The other thing, people are now starting to look into the earnings. You remember the earnings all of a sudden are 13% for the first quarter? All the other quarters were 8%, 6%, 7%. All of a sudden 13%. Are you kidding me? Those earnings are fake. I told you that 40% of those earnings of the 13% are fake because they use stock buybacks to push those earnings up. So 40% is fake. But here's what people are realizing. When you look at the share price, the stock prices, they're so far ahead of profits. I told you this before. Stock price is like 300 times further ahead than the stock. I mean, than the profits. You have a stock that goes up 60% and profits aren't even going up 0.6%. What are you, nuts? We'll be right back after this break here on Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Attention all listeners. Are you interested in learning proven investing and trading profit-taking strategies that apply in any up or down stock market? This Saturday, May 20th, Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team will host a live online special Market Rally webinar. For only $70, this webinar will cover Phil's trading and investing strategies, including preparing you for a market correction. Plus, you will learn how to short stocks and how to trade and invest in any market condition. While no one can predict the timing of a down market, philsgang.com is committed to teaching you the skills necessary to reaching your financial goals. And this webinar will help you prepare and give you the confidence you need. This webinar will be archived for 2 weeks. That's this Saturday, May 20th. Don't wait. Register today. Simply go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. You know, I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Recognized as an Axiom Business Award winner, the highly acclaimed Walter's Way book, authored by legendary businessman Walter Scheer, is now available in digital and audio formats at the philsgang.com Bud C store. Enjoy the stories of a relief kid who survived TB, corporate betrayal, bankruptcy, and still made millions and touched the lives of billions. Don't wait. Pick up the Walter's Way book in hardcover, digital, and in audio format at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. You know, I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. When St. Jude finds something that works well with a certain cancer, they share that with everybody. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge. We just have to worry about helping Chandler, and he's just my heart.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Attention all listeners. Are you interested in learning proven investing and trading profit-taking strategies that apply in any up or down stock market? This Saturday, May 20th, Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team will host a live online special Market Rally webinar. For only $70, this webinar will cover Phil's trading and investing strategies, including preparing you for a market correction. Plus, you will learn how to short stocks and how to trade and invest in any market condition. While no one can predict the timing of a down market, philsgang.com is committed to teaching you the skills necessary to reaching your financial goals. And this webinar will help you prepare and give you the confidence you need. This webinar will be archived for 2 weeks. That's this Saturday, May 20th. Don't wait. Register today. Simply go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, yesterday the market drops over 338 points. A few minutes ago, the market rallied up about 150 points. Now it's only up 78 points. It's all over the place because they're trying to force the stock market up. Again, as I told you, they got to keep the market up. And who's they? The Working Group on Financial Markets, a.k.a. Plunger Team, who consists of the Secretary of State, Chairman of the Chicago Board of Trade, Secretary of Treasury, and Aunt B. They meet every day. It's called the Working Group on Financial Markets. They make a decision where they're going to push the market to. So like now they're very worried over a few things. They're worried over the fact that this big drop yesterday, and they got those derivatives sitting out there, and they got to support those with stock prices. But here's their problem. They also realize that they went too far in financially engineering the earnings or profits for the first quarter, stating that they're 13%. Now, as investors are digging into it, there's redemptions. We saw $29 billion leave the market, and then another $9 billion just the banks leave the markets as they go into the earnings that they brag about. 40% of those earnings they find are fake. Because unless they did the stock buybacks, which means when you do a stock buyback, you take your company, say it's 1,000 shares outstanding, you buy back half, there's only 500 left. When you spread your earnings or profits over half, just 500, that means earnings go up and that pushes your stock up. It's all fake. That's called engineering. So 40% of the 13%, that's how it was done. But there's also another thing. We're seeing these redemptions because the smart money is looking at and saying, wait a minute, the stock prices are so far ahead. In other words, a company stock that goes from $20 to $80, but their sales went from $1 million to $1,001,001. Then the stock price goes up again and again, but sales don't go up. So how can stock prices keep going up, but sales don't go up, nor do profits go up? That's financial engineering. And that's how they got that 13%. Then you take on top of that, Trump switching from a strong dollar, which is fantastic because a strong dollar means is a strong economy, strong wages, strong jobs, strong economy, strong everything. He didn't switch to weak dollar because now he knows he has to do quantitative easing. What does that mean? That means he's got to lower interest rates. He's got to start printing money, giving it out to the banks, the hedge funds, just like we did in 2009 to 2017. Give them, or 2014, print money, give it to them free to go start buying their own stocks back, to push the stock market up because we can't grow the economy. And then he's got to convince everybody he can grow the economy on a weak dollar. But history shows you every president who failed had a weak dollar. The only presidents that were successful had a strong dollar. And here's what's really interesting. Listen to this. They come out, listen to this guy today.
You know, it's pretty apparent that political risk is shifting towards the U.S., but the fundamentals are great. Earnings season has been awesome. The economy is doing just fine. The consumer balance sheet looks great. So with the fundamentals being good, the market should continue going up.
Wow. This is what they put out there as a narrative. This is why you don't want to listen to financial programs you see on TV, because this is their job, to make you feel good. So they get advertisers. When you look at Fox and CNBC and the rest of them, they need advertisers. And if you talk like me, the advertiser's going to leave. Because if you tell the truth, people aren't going to go buy a car. So you can't tell the truth. So that's why they talk that way. So he's out there today spinning this, which is amazing. To say the economy is doing just fine? I went over the earnings. He says the fundamentals are great. Wait, how can that be? The fundamentals are great. The market closed yesterday with negative internals. We have terrible volatility. It's near a historic low. Our VIX is near, the fear meter is at so low it doesn't even register or work anymore. The volume is so bad, it's so light. The breadth in the market, meaning the amount of stocks participating, there's only 8 stocks called the alphabet stocks that are participating or contributing to this entire stock market rally. If we took those 8 alphabetic stocks out, there'd be no stock market. So he's saying fundamentals are great. No. Are you kidding? Earnings, yields, let's take the yields, now are at a 4-month low, meaning profits. Interest, yields are at a 4-month low. And when you have yields at a 4-month low, or if you have low yields, meaning when you buy bonds, you know people are getting out of the market and buying bonds when the yield drops. That's proof of negative fundamentals. He says fundamentals are terrific. No, you don't have yields dropping unless you have negative fundamentals, because it signals the continuing of deflation. In other words, lower prices. Merchants can't move their prices up. There's no pricing power. That's why retailers are getting killed. And when you can't have pricing power, and there's deflation, and they got to keep lowering their prices trying to sell stuff, especially with all this online competition now, that causes more layoffs. Look at the retail industry. It's devastated. But he says, he comes on CNBC, says, everything's terrific. Fundamentals are great. Join my gang. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Attention all listeners. Are you interested in learning proven investing and trading profit-taking strategies that apply in any up or down stock market? This Saturday, May 20th, Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team will host a live online special Market Rally webinar. For only $70, this webinar will cover Phil's trading and investing strategies, including preparing you for a market correction. Plus, you will learn how to short stocks and how to trade and invest in any market condition. While no one can predict the timing of a down market, philsgang.com is committed to teaching you the skills necessary to reaching your financial goals. And this webinar will help you prepare and give you the confidence you need. This webinar will be archived for 2 weeks. That's this Saturday, May 20th. Don't wait. Register today. Simply go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of Phil's Gang. I got a great opportunity for those people who are disgusted with the market, who don't have time to learn. What you do is follow me in the exchange-traded fund that I'm invested in. Every day you go to my site and you can see exactly what I am doing with my investment, and you can mimic me. Nobody else dares do that. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Learn how to overcome the challenges of investing in the stock market with Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com Marketing Investing Webinar. This Saturday, May 20th from 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern. This webinar will be archived for 2 weeks. For only $70, learn all the basics of the stock market through Phil's comprehensive, interesting, and proven investing and charting techniques.
And the greatest benefit to attending the webinar is you will profit from the stock market using Phil's Gang techniques on charting.
Don't wait. Register today at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
Let me ask you, could you use a little extra money? Well, of course you could. Everybody could use that extra revenue to pay the bills, pay down debt, or save for retirement. With philsgang.com, we help you make that extra income in the stock market. For over 15 years, Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team have helped folks who are interested in learning short-term and long-term investing by providing professional-level charting skills and strategies. philsgang.com is your #1 source to learn, invest, and profit in the stock market. And you can do this for only $39.95 a month. With philsgang.com, you learn how to invest in the market, you get daily investment coaching guidance, and you will learn to invest and trade with the skills and confidence of the pros. Just log on and get daily investment instructions and make profits. Plus, all philsgang.com material is archived for your convenience. Go to philsgang.com to join or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Call today.
Welcome back. Listen to Phil Grandy and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. They're not going to impeach Trump, I can tell you that. What is going to happen is all this nonsense, they're not going to be working on the economy. That's the problem. They're not going to be getting the health care bill through. They're not going to be getting the tax cut through. They're not going to get the all the construction of our bridges and airports and all these things that would create jobs. Not going to get through. So the Dow yesterday was down 338 points. I told my gang, I said, you watch tomorrow morning. They're going to I said, first thing in the morning, if the market's not down again, if there's no follow-through, then the market will turn positive and stall all day. It went up to about 150 points. Now it's dropped back down to about 45 points. Now it's up 60 points. They've been trying to, again, the plunger team, they've been trying to push this market. And what they do is they print money, and they give money to the 5 largest of the 25 largest banks go out and start buying stocks to push the market back up, to hold it back up. But what I really don't like is when they send out their cheerleaders to say stuff like this.
Earnings season has been awesome.
Which we know is not. It's a lie. I explained 40% of those earnings are fake. They use stock buybacks. And when you dig down into the earnings, you'll see that the stock prices are like 300 times further ahead than their profits. Ridiculous.
The economy is doing just fine.
The economy is not doing fine. We know that. We have a growth rate of 1.8%. We had a 0.7% growth in the first quarter. That's crazy. How can the economy be doing fine? It can't be doing fine. But here's my point. You don't need any of this information. You don't need any of this information to create wealth in the stock market. When it gets confusing like this, you think, oh my God, what do I do? Who do I believe? Do you believe these guys? Do you call your planner? No. Believe yourself. And that's what I'm doing. This is what I've been doing for 15 years. I designed a chart. I teach people how to use this chart. Anybody can use a chart. A 10-year-old can use a chart. I don't have an high school education. I use a chart. And I'm not proud of that. It's all about money going in and money going out. That's it. Let the big guys figure out when to put money in and put money out. And I'll follow them. And with today's technology, that's what we do. And that's what you need to do. Learn. Look, I've told you about 401ks. They're horrible. I told you the best thing is the 401k is the worst thing in the world. Terrible. The expenses of a 401k, the fees are 20 times that of an exchange-traded fund SPDR. An ETF SPDR offers not only much lower fees, it offers diversification. And at the same time, it minimizes your risk in the 10 sectors in the stock market. Oil, gold, tech, financial, retail, the rest of them. Without having to take single stock risk. That's the beautiful thing about exchange-traded fund. They're a basket of the top stocks, and you don't have to take the risk of a single stock, which you are taking risk in a single stock if you aren't serious about it, learning about it. You got to take time to learn. If you're going to do individual stocks, what are you going to do? Go to a stockbroker? He's going to take care of that for you? How did that work out in the past? So fees are so important. See, an ETF is terrific, especially for somebody who's so busy, who doesn't have time to research. And the beautiful thing about the ETFs, they act like an individual stock. During the day, you can get out. Your 401k, remember when the market was going down yesterday, 300 points, bam, 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 you couldn't get out of your 401k. Let's say we were down another 1,000 points today. You can't get out to the end of the day in a 401k. Your ETF, your basket of stocks, whether it's a basket of oil stocks or gold stocks or tech stocks, you can get out because it trades like an individual stock. Fees are the big problem. Impact of fees cannot be understated. Tom Benna, the founder of the 401k, said the 401k is the only product Americans buy and don't know the price of it. They don't know the quality of it. They don't know the danger of it. And because of the extremely high fees of the 401k experiment has failed because of those fees. Just a 1% fee, they steal 30% of your retirement. But the 401k, the average fee is 2%. That's more than half of your retirement money goes to fees and you don't even know it. That's without the hidden fees The custodial fees, the legal fees, the transfer fees, the agent fees, the sub-transfer agent fees, the record-keeping fees, the marketing fees, brochure fees, office expense fees. You pay all those. You know that? You can't make money with a 401k. So I'd love to introduce you to Phil's Gang, and you can do that, and charting, you can do that this Saturday. But if you can't make it Saturday, that's fine, because it's going to be archived for 2 weeks. I'm going to have a webinar from 12 Eastern to 3 o'clock. Going to show everyone how to use the chart. Whether you're an expert or beginner, never saw a chart, or you've been using them, you're going to get something out of it. It's a wonderful opportunity. It's only $70. You don't have to be a gang member. Check it out. And if you want to join the gang, it's $39.95. So here's the number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, or you can go right to my website and sign up for the webinar for Saturday, which you got for 2 weeks if you can't make it. Or if you want to become a gang member, $39.95, call 877-600-GANG, or go to my website. But you got to do something, because look what's going on here. The lying is incredible. And you got to watch out for all the cheerleaders. Example, banks are the biggest part of our market. Banks lead the stock market. They lead it up, they lead the market down. You always got to keep your eye on the banks, and you got to keep your eye on what we call the small and mid-cap stocks. And then you always know what the market's doing. You don't have to ask anybody, is the market going up or is the market going down? You put those on a chart, you know exactly when to get in and when to get out. It's so easy. Your kids could do it. That's another reason why I'm archiving it for 2 weeks. I want you to get your kids to see this video. The economy's doing fine. Are you kidding me? But when I get upset with these cheerleaders, listen to this. I don't think I'll play it in the next segment because I don't think I have enough time. I have a little bit of time.
Nobody really seems to understand what makes a bank stock tick or what makes a banking company tick. And I'll give you a simple example. The decline in the 10-year Treasury, I think, also had a big impact on bank stock prices yesterday, because there's this belief that if the yields come down on the 10-year Treasury, banks can't make money, and therefore you ought to sell the stocks. The reality is that banks have $3.6 trillion in securities. They just went up in value significantly yesterday and this morning, and therefore the capital of the banking industry went up, and therefore the banks are likely to produce higher profits in the quarter because of profits taken on the sale of securities.
Wait a minute. This is unbelievable. He's saying, look, the bank stocks are going down, but don't worry about it, because their investments, the securities, the treasuries they buy, they're making money on it, because as the yield goes down yesterday, they're making money on those treasuries they are holding as an investment. Well, that's like saying to somebody that owns some guy, his father died, left him some money, decided to go and open up a hot dog vending machine on the corner. He never makes any money. And the accountant says, wait a minute, your business plan is to sell hot dogs. You're not making money. He said, oh, yes, I am. I'm making money on my treasuries. Well, wait a minute. That's not the business model. He's supposed to be selling hot dogs. So I see banks aren't supposed to be loaning. That's not their business model. They just make money on on buying treasuries. Unbelievable.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Attention all listeners. Are you interested in learning proven investing and trading profit-taking strategies that apply in any up or down stock market? This Saturday, May 20th, Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team will host a live online special Market Rally webinar. For only $70, this webinar will cover Phil's trading and investing strategies, including preparing you for a market correction. Plus, you will learn how to short stocks and how to trade and invest in any market condition. While no one can predict the timing of a down market, philsgang.com is committed to teaching you the skills necessary to reaching your financial goals. And this webinar webinar will help you prepare and give you the confidence you need. This webinar will be archived for 2 weeks. That's this Saturday, May 20th. Don't wait. Register today. Simply go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Recognized as an Axiom Business Award winner, the highly acclaimed Walter's Way book, authored by legendary businessman Walter Scheer, is now available in digital and audio formats at the philsgang.com Bud C store. Enjoy the stories of a relief kid who survived TB, corporate betrayal, bankruptcy, and still made millions and touched the lives of billions. Don't wait. Pick up the Walter's Way book in hardcover, digital, and in audio format at philsgang.com. To many, the stock market is shrouded in mystery. When do I buy? What is the stop loss? Should I invest on earnings? Is it time to sell? At Phil's Gang, we want to clear the investing fog for you. We want to make you an educated, confident investor and ultimately a profitable investor. For over 15 years, Phil Grandy and the Phil's Gang team have been dedicated to teaching, guiding, and answering your investment questions. And with our new Phil's Gang website and customer support messaging system, we are available when you need us to answer your questions. philsgang.com can be accessed from your home, office, or any location where internet is available. Plus, you never miss a beat because all material is archived. From beginner to seasoned investor, Phil Grandy has been helping thousands of people learn about the stock market and producing smart investing strategies. Whether you're preparing for retirement or looking to secure your financial future, learn, invest, and profit with Phil's Gang. That's philsgang.com. For more information, call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
To be able to just get my son to St. Jude and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Celebrating 18 years as the leader in investing and trading education.
Following your system has been fantastic.
Yeah, I really appreciate the work you do. You're really an inspiration.
Well, all of the tools you've put together for us have just given us so much confidence.
I have learned so much. It is absolutely incredible.
You're really one of the best I've ever heard. I've been with you for about a month and a half now, and I'm already up 7%.
Financial education is, in many respects, the most important education you can get, and that's what they're getting from your show.
You guys have always been great on the service side.
I have so much more confidence than when I'm in my trading.
Phil, keep up the good work. I love the chart.
I've been in this business for 45 years, and you are the best.
And I've been following you, I guess, about 9 months right now, and you've just done a great job.
Listen to Phil, join the gang, and you'll never regret it.
If you're serious about securing your financial future, then contact philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grandy and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Here's the number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG. Sign up for my webinar. It's going to be this Saturday. It's going to be archived for 2 weeks, so if you can't make it on Saturday, no problem. You're going to get more of an education on investing than you would at Harvard. I'll tell you that, because you're going to get the truth. You know, it's interesting. One of the most important sectors, there's two important sectors, is the financials, because they drive the whole stock market. The financials are going down, banks are going down, the market goes down. They go up, they go up. The whole market goes up. And then it's the small, mid-cap companies, the small companies who do not export anything. They do all their business here domestically. And they need, and what you learn is you invest in those, the domestic stocks, mid-cap stocks we call them, when we see that the yields, okay, are strong. And so a dollar is strong. So when you see the dollar strong, the first thing we do is we go in and buy the small, mid-cap stocks, and we buy an exchange-traded fund for that group. How easy is that? And then we just watch the chart, and all the gangsters from Wall Street, when they start buying, we start buying. And with today's technology, we can tell when they're buying. And it tells us by a color code. Red to get out, green to get in. But that's a very important sector, and all you got to do is wait. And when the dollar's strong, those stocks are strong, you make money. Banks, very important sector. This guy says, oh, don't worry. Go ahead and buy bank stocks, even though they're not making money. When yields are going down, now is when people leave the stock market and they go buy bonds because they're afraid the economy's getting bad, yields drop. That means banks don't make money when interest rates are low. They want high interest rates. So he says, go ahead and buy anyways, because the money they've made, they go and invest it in treasuries. And when the yields go down, because everybody's running from the stock market to the bond market for safety, and the yields go down, that means those treasuries that the bank bought go up. He said, oh, they make money on that. But wait a minute. If I'm buying banks, don't I want to know they're making money on giving out loans? Isn't that their business model? So you're being told to buy bank stocks when they're not, when their business model is to make loans, but when they're not making loans, don't worry about they're making money on their treasuries that they buy. This is the stuff you got to stay away from, or you will never make money in the market. If you just follow the smart money, and you do that with charting. Yesterday, I said, when the market was down 80 points, here's what I said to my gang as the market was going down 80 points. Listen to this.
The market, you notice, is down 80 points this morning. It was down 100, and as I told Tommy and JR, I said they'll never keep it below 100 that much. Below. They'll wrap that right back up. They got to keep the stock market going up, or the banks will collapse, and we'll go into a deep depression.
Because of the derivatives. I'm the only one who talks about it. And what they do today, they rallied them right back up. So we went from 328 points negative, now we're up 92. No, they're going to have a struggle because the earnings are fake earnings. So, but you don't have to know about the earnings. You don't know all about that stuff. You don't have to know price to book. You don't have to know profit margins. You don't have to know anything. You don't even have to know what a company does. Really, you don't. What you got to know is you want very little expense. And you get that in the spiders. You get that in ETFs. You can buy a basket of oil stocks. Right now, we're looking to buy a basket of oil service stocks. And then you can follow me. Because when I tell my gang, here's the exchange-traded fund I'm buying, so you can follow me and do exactly what I'm doing. When I buy, you buy. When I add to my position, you add to your position. At the same time, you're learning by osmosis. So if you're so busy and you say, I want to make money, but I don't have time to study anything. Well, this is perfect for you. You just follow me. Do exactly what I do. It takes 1 minute. 1 minute. At the end of every night, I do a video, tell you what I've done with my exchange-traded funds, and you just mimic what I do. It's not a fund. You don't give your money to me. So it's not a fund. You hold on your money, you get to an online broker and just click in and say, I want to buy 100 shares of the exchange-traded fund oil or the exchange-traded fund gold or whatever it is. But the market is still the best place. It'll always be the best place. Because it's liquid. Because anytime you can get out with a click of a mouse, as soon as you think you made a mistake, you can get out. That's what's you can't do that with cars, you can't do that with houses, you can't do that with anything. The only problem with the stock market, in fact, there's no problem with the stock market. It's the people who create the stock market. They're the problems. They're the problems. It's unbelievable. Like this guy coming on today and telling everything's just, the economy's just fine, he says.
The economy's doing just fine.
When you know it's not, just by looking at your pay. Your pay's been the same for how long? When's the last time you got a pay raise? And when you go to the grocery store, how many more pieces of paper do you need to buy that same milk that you bought a month ago? You need what? 2 more pieces of paper. That's all it is paper. Worthless, not backed by anything. We need to go back to the gold. For every dollar they print, they need $1 of gold, but that's never going to happen. Look, I'm not sitting here telling you I got all the answers and I'm going to make you rich. I'm telling you what to stay away from. If you want, I'm not telling you to get rid of your 401ks, but when you come and you learn how to use a chart, if you want to come to the webinar, or you just want to join the gang or do both, you'll find out by just following the charts. You don't have to know any of that stuff. It's called noise. Just get it out of your head. You just get the noise out of your head. It's real simple. When the big institutions are buying, you should be buying. Here's what you don't want to listen to. Listen.
But long story short, what you need to know, I think the common stock is absolutely worth buying into this weakness. Stanley Black & Decker is doing this equity offering to finance a pair of acquisitions that will substantially bolster the earnings in the not-too-distant future.
Do you hear that noise? Hear what he said? Listen to what he says why to buy the stock.
But long story short, what you need to know, I think the common stock is absolutely worth buying into this weakness. Stanley Black & Decker is doing this equity offering to finance a pair of acquisitions that will substantially bolster the earnings in the not...
Who cares? That's not why you buy the stock. You buy stock because the institutions are buying it. That's why you buy stock. Not because of that noise. And you put it on my chart today. Look, it's dropping. It turned red. It turned red on Friday and has dropped. Since he told people to get in, this stock has dropped almost 4% since he got in it. But if you knew how to use this chart and you're listening to him on TV and said, "Gee, I think I'm going to buy what he said to buy," you put it on your computer, your MV2, or you listen to anybody on any of these financial shows. Just before you buy, put it on your chart. And there it is red, you don't buy it. How simple is that? How simple is that? See, stocks go up because tax cuts, earnings growth, and good dividend payouts. That's why they go up. But you need somebody to be buying them. And that's why we track the institutional buyer, the JCPenney, the Goldman Sachs, all the big boys, Dodge & Cox, Vanguard Group. We don't follow the story like, oh, we should buy it because they're buying 2 more companies. We don't buy it because the market cap is good or the trailing PE ratio or forward PE ratio or price to sales, price to book, profit margin, operating margin, return on assets, return on equity. We don't care about any of that. You buy it because the institutions are buying it. And you can do it with charting so simple. And for people, the spiders are so perfect for you if you're so busy. But you also know we are facing a retirement crisis. We are. People don't have enough money to retire. And they all thought the 401k would do it. That was a scam. That's a scam. If the owner, the father, the grandfather, Bennett, if he tells you it's a scam, and he doesn't even buy 401ks, why are you in it? Does that make sense? You're in 401ks when the founder of 401k says it's a scam, get out? Here's the number, 877-600-GANG. Become a gang member if you want. Do both. Come to my webinar. Remember, there's only 50 plots to come to. There's only 50 pods, rather. Sorry, not plots. 50 pods. So make sure you sign up now for Saturday. Okay?
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market. The Max Best 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the